October has arrived and the desert garden is finally waking up after the summer heat. Hi, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Shanice and I'm a backyard desert gardener in Arizona. Come spend a day with me as I do various things around the garden, such as harvesting vegetables, pruning, sharing my fall tips, all in the month in October. The first thing we're going to do is harvest some peppers. I am growing Anaheim peppers and jalapenos in one grow bag, which I started from seed in February. They survived the summer and are still producing. They even grew a little bit tall. I kind of wanted them to grow like this because I like the bushy look. As you can see, this pepper bush is very healthy. Today we're going to harvest some Anaheim peppers. When harvesting vegetables, always watch out for the praying mantis eggs. And I can't believe that I harvested so many peppers. Today I was able to harvest 58 peppers. Now let's talk about our seasonal pest. As the weather starts cooling down in the fall, the pests will come out for their last feast. These are aphids, and they just love my Mexican butterfly milkweed. However, I usually leave them alone because they provide food for other beneficial insects. Other pests that you might see in the garden are whiteflies, spider mites, and inchworms. I use neem oil to keep these pests away from my plants. It's organic and safe and doesn't harm the bees. I usually don't spray this on my native plants, but I will spray the vegetables, because pests love vegetables. Neem oil has saved my sage from being attacked from whiteflies. They even went after my rosemary plant, which I'm trying to save as well. On a positive note, my chickens love this weather. This gives them such a break from the intense summer heat. Even little Inca dove enjoys the cooler weather. This Inca dove is very friendly and hangs out with my chickens and duck all day. But sometimes Daisy gets a little bit jealous. Today I collected one egg from Tinkerbell, our only chicken that lays eggs. This is my first time owning a duck and I'm so happy that Daisy is healthy and survived the summer. I enjoy all my animals in the garden, even the wild ones. This is my latest addition, my worm composting area. It was a mulch pile but eventually turned into a compost pile, using sticks to form the structure. It has active worms and other beneficial insects that help break down the organic matter. And I didn't have to use any cardboard. It's in a perfect location, making it really easy for the worms to multiply. To prune or trim, that is the question. Today we're doing both. I have a ton of plants in my garden that either need to be pruned or trimmed. And this area definitely needs to be trimmed. The Mexican purple petunias have overgrown this area, which makes it really hard to get back here. So I need to cut it back towards the fence. I'll start from the top and work my way down. I let it grow during the summer to give the praying mantises shade. Now it looks a lot better. I'm now able to walk back here and I even lay down pavers. In the same area, I'm growing fountain grass, which was a lot easier because I just trimmed the lower leaves. This is my first time growing fountain grass and I really love it. It gives this area a more fairy tale look. In the front yard, I have my two big trees. One of them, however, did not make it, so I'll be pruning the dead branches, which is blocking the walkway. I didn't prune this branch earlier because my chickens and my duck needed shade in the summer, but now that it's fall, I'm able to trim it. And hopefully we'll plant another tree in its place. Just look at all that lovely organic matter. I have a gorgeous Cape honeysuckle that needs to be trimmed. I will start off by trimming the lower leaves and working my way up, making sure I cut evenly on both sides. The Cape honeysuckle is a wonderful plant to have in the garden. It provides so much shade for the chickens and duck, which is really vital for the summer. This bush grew so much that it actually needs rope for support. This will help by keeping it off the ground and growing upright. Each season and every month I have to prune my powwow swamp lily. In the spring and early summer, it'll bloom pretty pink flowers. And now we have more organic matter that could go into the compost pile. Next up, we're going to prune some basil. This is actually a very big basil bush that I'm about to prune. And there's a lot to prune. Basil grows really good in the desert and attracts the most pollinators like bees, which help pollinate my other plants. It was trying to take over the whole area, but I was able to cut a path, which looks so much better. More organic matter means more food for the worms. This will give them extra food and protection. And in return, I'll get some worm castings that I could use for my plants or when I'm mixing soil. After trimming the basil bush, I accidentally caught a praying mantis. Thankfully, he or she did not get hurt, but they still might press charges. And then I safely placed it back into another basil bush. Now it's time for the plant tour. I still have plenty of sunflowers growing. And my latest sunflower, the red Mexican sunflower. I didn't buy any seeds or plant this year, it just started growing. My grapevine has doubled in size and is so much healthier now than it was last year. I have a Baja fairy duster bush, which I recently transplanted into the ground, and you can see all the new growth. In the spring, I transplanted a yellow cassia bush, and it's growing so well. I have a few succulents that I'm growing in a pot, which is more decorative. I have a few native plants that I started from seed, but they're a little bit crowded, so I need to dig them up and transplant them into a pot. I am so excited to announce that this is my first melon that I'm growing in my garden. After I used organic fertilizers, it took off, and so did everything else. I have 2 melon vine plants. This melon plant just started growing during the summer, and it's doing very well in this pot, and gets plenty of support from the fence. As you can see, it's on a perfect climb. The second melon plant is growing in the soil, which is using the same fence to trellis on. In the very front of my house, I have a lot of plants growing, a few of them up against the house, and most of them in pots. But now that it's fall, I have plenty of time to choose where they're going to be. A lot of the plants in pots were gifted to me, so I don't know all of their names, but they are all growing well. And don't forget to replenish the plants with compost. This will give them the nutrients that they need before the winter. October is such a special month in the desert garden. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.